Happy New Year. Elijah McDavid III is the senior pastor of the Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church. He's been serving since September 2020, and the church has grown from less than 500 to more than 2,000 members with the addition of 20 new ministries. A multi-million dollar renovation project has been completed to restore the sanctuary, build a new music suite, and open a youth center providing culturally informed programming, mental health care, and worship opportunities for all ages. He received his Master of Divinity from the Union Theological Seminary, Columbia University in New York City, and he was a James Forbes Scholar. He also graduated from Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. He is originally from Arlington, Virginia, and prior to fellowship, he served on the pastoral staff of the Alfred Street Baptist Church of Alexandria, Virginia. In July 2012, he became the youngest person to be licensed in ministry in the 200 year of Alfred Street. He is a proud member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, the Downtown Minneapolis Senior Interfaith Clergy Council, and sits on the board of the North Side Achievement Zone in the African American Leadership Forum. The joy of his life in his union with his best friend, Tyler Brianne McDavid, and his greatest privilege is serving as bonus dad to Hayes Stewart. Now, the recent news has said that Tyler McDavid has come forward and accused her husband, the pastor of Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, of infidelity, and that he served her with divorce papers while she was pregnant. There are allegations of a separate and a double life for Pastor McDavid, and he has reportedly announced a leave of absence from his church. Also, another woman named Karisha has come forward and said that she was also in a relationship with Elijah McDavid before he was married and afterward. Now, this is just getting too much. When is this going to end? It's not Brian Karn, it's somebody else. I mean, why can't these women stay faithful, and these women and men stay faithful to each other? Karisha has gone live on social media to share her account of a past relationship with the pastors, but her statements have been publicly challenged by the pastor's wife, adding another layer to the controversy. According to Karisha, she and the pastor McDavid were in a relationship for approximately 3 years and at one point lived together. So this must be the secretary's daughter, the secretary of the church's daughter he is in love with and been having an affair with. She also alleged in 2025 he reached out to her and invited her to dinner, during which he told her that he had proposed to another woman. And she said learning this left her emotionally shaken and feeling betrayed. She also emphasized she was not involved with the pastor during his marriage and stated she cut off all contact and blocked him entirely. Okay, whatever. These people are not saved. That's all there is to it. And I feel like fellowship should get rid of this pastor and get somebody else that at least have the integrity to be faithful in their marriage and not sleep with members of the church family.
A few moments later.
I hate that a private matter became public. However, I will stand here today and boldly stand by my decision to dissolve my marriage so that I can be physically safe and mentally whole.
One was asking, why did this make it to social media? For those of you that are new to my page and clearly don't know any of my content, I documented my entire relationship with my husband from our very first date to the time that we eloped in Italy and further on from there. I documented the good times, and so it wouldn't be right or be hypocritical if I did not document and share this information. One of the other questions was, why did I not go to the higher ups? I did. I went to the chair of the deacon board and the chair of the trustee board in early November and talked to them about everything. They even have more details than you all have. So I went to them, nothing was done. The reason why the video was made to begin with, because my name was being slandered around the church and around his staff. He has not been truthful. He has fabricated a situation that happened, and I was tired of the blame and the misinformation being targeted towards me, and me ultimately being the bad guy. I made this video because there were a lot of people involved. There are a lot of people that have been involved with him and that have been silenced, and I am one that will not and cannot be silenced. So I'm the only one that spoke up and spoke out. One of the other questions was, what could he possibly have done that you demanded that would make you take him back? Well, he had an inappropriate relationship with a member of his church while he was dating me. That person is the daughter of his former secretary. She reached out to me a few days after he announced our engagement on Easter on the phone, and she told me everything. The demand that I made was, I asked him to let go of his secretary. I felt like she was too close. She knew that Elijah was dating me. She also knew that he was dealing with her daughter. She was booking my flights to and from Minneapolis to Indianapolis, booking dinner reservations, booking everything. She was just too close. I did not want her around. I did not want to be around her. I didn't want to eventually have to email her or call her or do anything in regards to church-related stuff, so I asked him to let her go. That was one of the demands. He did that. I thought because he let go of his secretary, that he was serious about our relationship, and it made me feel a little bit more comfortable moving forward in our relationship. I would have sent the baby to Jesus or Jesus Academy, Jesus Daycare. Trust and believe. That was a thought of mine. And every time that I talked about terminating, I literally got sick to my stomach. Ironically, Monday of this week, I received a phone call from the doctor letting me know that I am having a little girl. Most people would be excited to know the sex of their baby, especially to know that they're having a daughter when they already have a son. But it's just something that I'm not excited about right now. I've been told to try to find the joy in this moment, and I can't find it. My prayer is that as time go on, that I will be able to connect to my daughter. I pray that I don't have any resentment towards her. My prayer is that I can love her the way that I love my son, despite everything that is going on between me and her father. So for those that are sticking and riding with me, I would ask that you would just pray for peace of mind for me. I would like for all of you guys to back off of Kari. She and I did have a conversation the day after Christmas. We had a long 4-hour phone conversation. I do not agree with everything that has happened, but I do understand how she fell into the manipulation of you all's pastor. He is a very smart, well-spoken man, and he knows how to use that to his advantage. For everyone that is attacking me in my comments because you are sticking and riding beside your pastor, I don't blame you at all. You all have known him for 5 years. You have grown to love him for those 5 years. He and I have only been together for a year and a half, and even in that year and a half, with everything that I know about him, everything that I know about his past, and everything that I know that he continues to do, I still love him. And so there is so much that you all do not know, and I am not upset because he is not a truth teller. I hope that one day he will tell the truth. I truly believe that everything that's done in the dark comes to light, because everything that this man has done to me in the dark, I did not go looking for it. It literally fell on my lap. Church sent out an email earlier this week about the claims against their pastor and how they are supporting the family. You all are not supporting the family. If you were, you would have reached out to check on Hayes. At the end of the day, there is an innocent child that has moved to Minnesota and now has moved from Minnesota, had started a whole brand new life with friends at school, friends at church. We built a community here, and I had to have a really hard conversation with him and let him know that this will no longer be his home. Would have hoped that you all would have actually checked in on the family. For those that have checked in on us, I really appreciate you. For those that have come to the house to pick him up, to distract him so I could pack up, or just so I could get things done, I really do appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who has called. I appreciate everyone who has stopped by. I appreciate everyone who has prayed for and with me. Know that your kindness, I'm not taking it lightly at all. I really appreciate you. That's really all that I have to say. I appreciate everyone that has reached out to me. I hope that somebody can learn something from this. I don't believe that anyone should be silenced. There were tons of people that told me to take the video down or let God handle this. No. God can continue to handle it the way that he sees fit. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit back. Got a divorce to go through now. And I got to continue to make this little girl that's inside of me, because I haven't been taking care of her. And I haven't been taking care of her mom. And so my prayer is that I can heal. Everyone involved can heal. I hope that this doesn't happen to anybody else. And I just want to get back to the Tyler, the daughter, the mom, the friend that I was, or that I am, for my babies. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side. I received a sermon a couple of weeks ago from Sarah Jakes Roberts, basically talking about her going through the process to get to the promise on the other side. And I have no clue what my promise is on this other side, because I'm being dragged and this process is terrible. But I just know that I'm going to have a testimony, something on the other side. It has to, because this is just insane. But again, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for all of your prayers, your well wishes, and
so from the bottom of my heart, I'm deeply sorry that because none of you should have had to experience hurt like this on the week of Christmas. I hate that a private matter became public. However, I will stand here today and boldly stand by my decision to dissolve my marriage so that I can be physically safe and mentally whole. And through all the noise, I want you to know I'm grateful to be alive. And so I ask that you would pray for our church, pray for my family, pray for everybody who's been involved and touched by this situation. And know that I love my fellowship family and that stepping away even for a brief moment is hard, but I'm confident that the same Holy Spirit that has sustained us through 5 years of victory seasons will continue to be with us even in my absence. And while I might be absent physically, know that I will still be connected with you all spiritually because we're going into our church fast. And I hope you all will help me and join me in praising God for the opportunity that we have to.
See, that's what these monkey pastors do. Instead of admitting to adultery and repenting for their sin, they're going to make the spouse look like the victim. Oh, she pulled a GUN on me. Oh, my life is in danger. Oh, she did this. She did that. She hurt me. We can't fix our marriage. I have to dissolve my marriage. And all along, you dating another woman. I'm going to say it like somebody else said it. You's a hoe. That's what you are. A H-O. And instead of you repenting, you may need to turn your license in. I just don't believe you. I don't believe you. And the fact that you were married to that woman 5 months, y'all eloped and had your honeymoon in Italy, you had the nerve to tell the other woman over dinner you proposed to another woman. You're not honest with your wife and tell her you were dating somebody else at the same time. There's just no integrity whatsoever. And so someone close to me going through a similar situation. They paint the wife like a villain. They send her threatening texts. They put up posts on social media. Leave my pastor alone. Meanwhile, no one says anything about his behavior. I don't want to hear anything about his marriage. You're just going to keep this pastor until he just keeps embarrassing you until you're not going to be able to recover it. And your church is going to have a whole new image. And you're going to become the laughing stock. Get rid of him while you got a chance.
Put a finger down. Put a finger down if you met a man last year and he was just the best man in the world, or at least you thought he was. He was so intentional. He was so sweet. He was so thoughtful. He moved with purpose. He knew what he wanted, and he didn't play about you. You all dated for 9 months, and he asked you to marry him in April. Put a finger down if he announced your engagement in front of his entire congregation on Easter. Put a finger down if 2-3 days go by and you find out that your fiance had been cheating on you for about a good length of your relationship. Not only had he been cheating on you, but he was cheating on you with a member of the church. He also had another relationship with another woman from the church, but it wasn't sexual. Didn't find this information out until after you all were engaged. You were livid. You were furious. You gave the ring back. You called off the engagement. You called off the wedding that you were planning. You canceled the dress that you ordered. All of this stuff. This man begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded for your forgiveness. After some time and work and like all of this stuff, and you making demands, and he met those demands, you thought to yourself, okay, like I asked him to do X, Y, and Z, he did them, he is serious. You decide that you want to work on this relationship and that you want to be in a relationship with him and all this other stuff. So you decide still to move to Minneapolis, uproot you and your son, leave your job behind, leave your family and your friends, and you come here to be this man's wife. You all get married, and everything seems to be okay. You all have like little knickknacks, is everything that you go through, like as marriages do, but you all are still very intentional with wanting to be together. You get married in August, you go to Italy for your honeymoon in August, and you get pregnant the first day of your honeymoon. Surprise! I am 13 weeks pregnant. You all get into an altercation in October. You decide that you are going to go ahead and take some time apart, so you go home for a week. You go home, and that's when you actually found out that you were pregnant. You end up coming back to Minneapolis. You all are working everything out, trying to at least, and then surprise, he moved out. He got an apartment. Thanksgiving comes around and he's back at the house. He still has his apartment, but he's been home every single day playing house. We've been eating together as a family. He's been taking your son to school. He's been coming back home in the evenings. He's been sleeping here. Like, everything's been fine. Then last Saturday, you all get into an argument over a napkin. You get into an argument over a napkin, and he decides that he is going to leave. And you tell him, look, you're married. You can't keep leaving every single time you get upset. Married people don't have second residences. He decides to leave anyway. So you text him and you let him know that this is the last time that he will be able to walk out on you, your son, and your unborn child. You go to church that next day. Everything is fine. I mean, you are saving face. You're speaking to everyone. You're smiling. After church, you go up to your husband and tell him how great of a job that he preached, and that you asked him if he wanted to go get some brunch afterwards, or like what his plans were. And he said that he had a headache and he was going to go lay down. So I said, okay. So my son, we go to brunch with a friend, and we come back and your husband is not here. Sunday evening, you try to get in contact with your husband and he still doesn't answer the phone. Monday comes around and you are sitting on the couch, folding clothes, doing laundry, and watching the P. Diddy documentary. The doorbell rings. You think that it is a package that your stepmom sent you all for Christmas. So you're not in a rush to answer the door because delivery people are going to sit it down. The doorbell rings again. So you get up because you are naked on the couch trying to fold laundry, because the only clothes that fit are the clothes that you are washing because you're pregnant. You find something, you throw it on, you go to the door. It is a woman there. She asks, are you Tyler? You say yes. She hands you a paper and says, you've been served. I open the paper and it's divorce papers. You're so distraught. You don't know what's going on, why he would serve divorce papers, what happened to the point that divorce papers would be served. There was no conversation being had. You are literally a mess. You all finally have a conversation a few days later, and you're like, you know what? I need you to be honest with me. Are you messing with anybody? And he tells you that he's been involved with a woman for the past month. Not any woman, but one of the two women that he was involved with in the beginning of your relationship. I'm putting all of my fingers down.
Before we move into our time of worship through giving, I want to say that I, like any other person with a biblical name, I can't help but to resonate with the story of the personality that I'm named for. I have a gravitational pull that keeps on drawing me back to the story of the prophet Elijah. And I'm drawn, Deacon Corey, not just to the high moments of success that he experiences, but I am drawn sometimes to the low moment that Elijah experienced in 1 Kings chapter 19. If you've been at Fellowship a little while, if you read your Bible, you know I've taught the story. Elijah just had an awesome victory in chapter 18, defeating 450 prophets of Baal. And then, as you turn the page, you find Elijah running for his life, fearful, afraid, anxious about what's coming next. He even questions the value and the significance of his own future. I would say And similar to the biblical Elijah, many of us today are wrestling with some heavy emotions. For some in our church, well, we experienced a whole lot this week, and it's left our community wondering and questioning, what does the future look like? We accomplished a whole lot together as a church family in chapter 18. We had some beautifully victorious seasons that we ought to be proud of in chapter 18. But right now it's a chapter 19 moment, and a lot of people are hurting. And if I can be honest, your pastor is hurting. May not have experienced all the dark tears of depression that the biblical Elijah wrestled with, but I can be honest and say I've cried a whole lot these last 3 months. And there have been some moments where I asked God, why? And so, with your gracious understanding, I would like to take some time to do what the biblical Elijah did, to go away to the mountaintop for a few days and allow the Spirit of our merciful God to replenish me, to recalibrate me, and restore me. I want to be better before we resume the work of prophetic ministry. I believe that on the other side of a refueling moment, we can have more chapter 18 victories ahead of us. And for those who might be uncertain about if there's victory ahead of us, I am confident in this, that even when the preacher, even when the members, even when a leader is going through it, even when we are broken and hurting, God knows how to touch us and minister to us and whisper to us in the stillness of the night, just as he did for the biblical Elijah, he can do for any of us.
You ain't alive.
I'm confident in that. And so, beloved, as I prepare for a short time away, allow me to encourage you to never allow anything to interrupt the life of our church's worship. Don't allow anything to interrupt the life of our church's worship. I heard a whole lot on the internet this week, but I'm not going to allow that to interrupt my prayer life. And I would advise you that you shouldn't allow it to interrupt yours either. We've had some moments of victory right now, walking through a valley of defeat. But I've taught you before, fellowship, that whether in victory or in defeat, our task remains the same. We shall lift our eyes beyond the hills because we know where our help comes from.
Wah, 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 blah, 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 blah. That man is a master manipulator. And all he did was use psychology to make them feel sorry for him. And oh, my bad wife, she scares me. She hurt me. She tarnishing my name. And all along, you have this lady that's up here now. This is the side chick that was dating him before he was married and before he was engaged, and probably even after. And if this one is one of his side chick, more than likely, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been living in the world a while and you've experienced some things, you experience some ups and downs, some ins and outs, some successes, some failures, some hurt, some pain, some joy. Most of the time, they just don't have one side piece. It's one or two or three or four. 1, 2. Tie my shoe. 3, 4. Shut the door. 5, 6. Pick up sticks. And in these words, pick up hose. This is not the only one. I guarantee it. I've run into people like this all my life. I don't even say I've had boyfriends. I've had boy enemies. Because they were no kind of friend to me. They were manipulative, selfish, lying, never upfront about their marital status. I had to investigate and go to courthouses to find out the truth. You have to follow them or get a private investigator to find out the truth. They don't never tell you about the woman in the other country, the woman in the other city, the woman in the other state. They're never truthful about that. He's just full of hogwash. Now let's find out what she has to say.
Screenshots that they posted with my name in it, I felt like I have to say something. I am not a mistress. I am not someone that is maintaining an inappropriate relationship with your husband or anybody for that matter. I am not somebody who wants to intervene or get in the middle of your relationship. What you should know is that this person and I dated for approximately 3 years. We started dating in June of 2021, and I also loved and cared about him. I also experienced all of the lavish trips and Michelin star restaurants, and truly feeling like somebody loved and cared about me and truly felt like I could trust him. He and I maintained a relationship for about 3 years, and we lived together and everything. It was in the spring of 2024 that I found out some devastating news that my trust was broken and that I was humiliated. At that point, like you, I also tried to see if we could figure things out and maintain the relationship. That's not necessarily something that I would recommend to anybody today, but that is my truth. We decided ultimately in about May of 2024 that we were no longer going to attempt to work on our relationship and that we would cut things off. From that point, he and I did not maintain contact the same way that we had before. We really did take a lot of space from each other. And later on that year, he started to reach back out and ask if I wanted to go to dinner or brunch, etc., and would invite myself and my friends out. During these dinners and brunches, he would offer up that he is single, that he is by himself, that if he is going on these trips, he's going by himself, he's going on his sabbatical, and he's going by himself as a single man.
Liar.
To my surprise, he asked me to dinner in spring of 2025 of this year and let me know that he was planning to propose to someone. And I'll be honest and let you know that I absolutely crashed out in that moment because I felt like even though we weren't together, we had built a friendship over the last few months to where we could be honest with each other.
Oh, liar.
I was frustrated because I felt like I didn't have a choice and that I didn't get an option of being able to walk away knowing that he was in a relationship with someone. I literally found out that you existed on that day. And when I checked in with other people, they let me know that they had been seeing your videos for a while and just thought that I knew. And that's why no one had told me. I talked to my mentor and he let me know that he was not about to propose, that he actually had already proposed to you before he said that to me. And I confronted him again and asked him why he had lied to me. I asked him what the reason was for not telling me that you were in a relationship this entire time. And he said to me that he didn't want to lose his best friend. I also that same day asked him if you knew about me and asked if he had talked to you about our past, and he told me he didn't think that that was necessary. I was really frustrated and I expressed that to him that day, that I didn't think that it was fair for anybody to walk into a scenario as delicate as this one, considering the context, that anybody should walk into this not knowing what's going on, especially when there are plenty of other people in the congregation that know. From that point, I decided that I did not want to maintain even a platonic friendship relationship with him and that my trust had been violated again at this point. And so I stopped communication with him, eventually blocked him on my phone, blocked him on social media, etc. It was October 25th of this year, which you know is his birthday, that I received a call that was not his personal number and not his social media, reaching out to me to let me know that he had been in what you would call an altercation that ultimately left him hit by a car. Again, I'll be honest and say that I thought in that moment, frustratedly, like, this is not my problem. I should not have to show up for somebody that has broken my trust on multiple occasions. But convicted, I felt like the right thing to do was to show up for somebody that you care about. And so no, I wasn't showing up for him as a friend. I wasn't showing up for him as somebody that was looking for anything for him, not somebody that is looking to rekindle a relationship with him. I was showing up for him as somebody who had just gotten news that he was in the hospital and had been in a car accident. And I want to be clear, he and I have maintained a strictly platonic relationship since the spring of 2024. And so while I understand that there is extreme hurt, there is extreme frustration, there was extreme disrespect that has happened throughout this situation, while I understand that this is extremely humiliating and I would not wish this situation on anybody, I also will say that is not my character to maintain a relationship with someone that is in a relationship or especially someone that is married. And so I truly hope that in all of this that you all get what is owed to you, what is due to you. I pray that this is all worked out. However, I should not be the target for this anger. I truly do believe that it is misdirected. And to all of my friends, turned family in my community that have reached out throughout the last day and a half of everything that has been going on, for people that know the truth and know my story and know my character, that have shown up for me and supported me. Thank you for showing up for me. I really do appreciate that. And I hope that this all gets worked out, but I am not anyone's mistress.
And this is the same story that's going on in my community. Oh, my wife's so mean. Oh, she threatened my life. And never admit that you brought your girlfriend to the church. You brought your girlfriend to the other church. You're sending the other woman your side piece cash apps. And the wife got pictures of it. I mean, these preachers are ridiculous. Use a hoe. Our prayers are with this family. And no, I don't think she should take the video down. She should defend herself, because I get tired of people blaming the woman. We are such a misogynistic culture and society. It is ridiculous. A man could sleep with 100 women and the church won't say nothing. Woman gets pregnant, you're off the choir, you're off the usher board. You got to sit in the back, you're sat down. And then when they sit a man down, when the person that he attacked no longer goes to the church, they'll get up in the pulpit. Where are thine accusers? Get back on the organ. But it's truly a sad day. And you just wasted this woman's time being married to her for 5 months. And no, you didn't tell her the truth, nor were you forthcoming.